What's going on? We back, Goodfella Sports TV. Y'all know what the business is, man. Mr. One Time for the one time we grinding. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon button. Check out our playlist, Talk More Than Boxing. But Mikey Garcia did a couple interviews, or a few interviews with Fight Hype. I'll link them in the description. And just want to talk about, just the gist of what he said. And I'll talk about what he said about Terence Bud Crawford, okay? Said that Terence Crawford's last performance was booty, ass, terrible, whatever adjective you want to use. I'm paraphrasing. He tried to sugarcoat it, and he said he wasn't impressed, and maybe the height and the reach of Jose Benavidez bothered him, and he should have got Benavidez up out of there sooner than that, and it wasn't impressive. And he says that he believes that Errol Spence Jr. would beat Terence Crawford. He said Crawford is a big guy himself, but he can't basically deal. How would he deal with, Errol Spence's pressure and power and size advantage of fighting Errol Spence? So, once again, he's taking shots at Terence Crawford. He's trying to, be sneaky and low key with it. But at the end of the day, same guy that preferred Errol Spence to Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford was a runner. And, he continues to take shots at Bud. But we all know Bud whooped them in the amateurs, and then when they sparred as professionals, he said Bud had beat him consecutive round after round after round after round, in the square circle. And he's the reason Terence Bud Crawford got over to Top Rank, called Cameron Duncan. Cameron Duncan asked him, was there any great or good unsigned talent out there? Talking about Terence Crawford. The story has it, which Mikey Garcia said, and Terence Crawford got signed to Top Rank, okay? At the end of the day, you see who he fighting. All right, I understand that Terence Crawford's with Top Rank, but he said it out himself, out his mouth. Crawford is a difficult fight because he moves and he's slick. And I don't see Terence Crawford as a defensive magician. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure if Terence Crawford wanted to box the perfect fight, I'm pretty sure they can kind of embed that discipline in him. But at the end of the day, when fire get hot on your ass, you always revert back what you do best. So I don't see Crawford as being a defensive magician, but his footwork and ability to move and change ranges and just that footwork scares a lot of Mexicans off, okay? A lot of Mexicans can't deal with the movement and the footwork and the slickness of fighters like Terence Crawford. That's why Canelo don't want to fight the Charlo. That's why Triple G don't want to fight the Charlo. That speed, and not only speed, because you got a lot of guys out there with speed. Josh Kelly got some speed. Usyk got some speed. Lomachenko got some speed. Amir Khan got speed. But none of them guys are slick. It's a difference. People think Josh Kelly's slick, but he's not. Once Josh Kelly get in there with somebody American that really got speed or really speak that language, you talking my language. Then he going to get put on his ass. I'm telling y'all what's going to happen if he don't come over and get that American sparring. But that's another conversation for another day. Now, don't let me go off into another universe. But that's what he fears. I'm telling you, he believes he got a better chance of beating Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. And people say, well, Errol Spence would knock him out, But he couldn't touch Crawford. That's why. I say this over and over again. Sergio Moro had one of the greatest quotes, one of the greatest quotes that is underrated in the sport of boxing. He said, I'm not scared if I can hit you. I'm only really scared, I'm paraphrasing here, if I can't hit you. And Mikey Garcia couldn't really touch Terence Crawford the way he wanted to. He can't touch Crawford. He'll hit him. Of course, it's a fight, gonna get hit, but he's not gonna get those shots like he got off on the Lipinets or how he got off on Adrian Broner or Zinchin Denchinian. He's not gonna get hit. Crawford don't get hit like that. If Crawford really wanted to stay on the outside and pick him apart like a Mayweather could do, I think if he stayed disciplined, which I'm not sure if he could be that disciplined, it would happen. He's fighting Errol Spence because Errol Spence he believes is a better style fight for him. And you can't do the triangle thing in boxing because he beat him, he gonna beat him. No, styles make fights, and Terence Crawford's style is a difficult style for Mikey Garcia. Errol Spence is a style where he think he's just gonna come straight down the middle. He gonna have opportunity to score on Errol Spence. He think he gonna be able to outbox Errol Spence, and we'll see. That's his prerogative. I want to see what he's seeing. I wonder, do we got to wear 3D glasses to see what Mikey Garcia sees in Errol Spence? Because most people think, oh, Terence Crawford is the easier fight. And that's what Bob said, because Crawford ain't naturally as big as Errol Spence, but Mikey Garcia knows otherwise. It's the rhythmic movement, it's the slickness, it's the speed, it's the boxing IQ, it's the changing of styles. He just don't come straight down the middle like Errol. And Errol and most people opinions don't know how to. They think he's a one-trick pony. They think Errol's just gonna come down the pipe and just beat you down, but they don't know Errol Spence has amateur and Olympian pedigree to a certain extent where he can box on the back foot. So if he needs to box, he can box. You know what I'm saying? But they haven't seen that, and just because you don't see it, don't mean somebody can't do it. And most people look at him like James Kirkland, for example, that James Kirkland just come in your wheelhouse and his fight all day. You know what I'm saying? That's what they think James Kirkland can do. Man, true, that's it. That's what he does. They look at Errol Spence in the same manner. He can just come down forward and just hit box all day. If I can just withstand his onslaught and counter him all night and take him to the deep rounds, I probably can beat him. You know, so that's just the train of thought that Mikey Garcia is having. But he also says that if, you know, after the Errol Spence fight, I guess if he's victorious or not, that he has, you know, only fight he want to go back down for is basically beside Lomachenko. You know, he says Lomachenko team hasn't reached out to him about making a fight. They talked about it for 2 or 3 years in the media, but they never really officially reached out to him to make that fight after what Bob said and what Lomachenko and Ingus Klimov, his manager, have said over the years. He said I never reached out to him to make that fight. So basically, he said Team Lomachenko is pump faking and they just selling dreams to the fans. And you know, I can see that happen. I'm not saying that's the case, but I can see it happen. It happens in boxing all the time. You dig? So he also says that he probably gonna stay at 147. You know, after Errol Spence. You know, so says he's gonna stay at 147. And you know, another thing at 140 excites him. He says Maurice Hooker just won, but he said a lot of those guys in the tournament. And what's so funny, the lady interviewing always stay interviewing my Fight Hype, she's an idiot. You know, she said, "Oh, could you give us some boxing dummies for 1-on-1 about the 140-pound tournament?" Mikey Garcia only knew Regis Progress in the tournament. He didn't know who Josh Taylor was. He didn't know who Ivan Baracha was. He didn't know who Relic was. He didn't know who nobody was but Regis Progress. He says basically that nothing down there excites him. Only, you know, he'll go back to 35 only for Lomachenko. I don't think that fight is going to happen. So I think Mikey Garcia is going to choose to stay at 147. And at 147, with Adrian Broner rematch, I'm just talking hypothetically if he loses. I mean, if he wins, obviously is the world is his. You know, he can do whatever he wants. He will be a title holder. So I'm pretty sure Keith Thurman will take that fight. Sean Porter will take that fight because Mikey will be pay-per-view star to that. It was planned as Errol Spence facing Manny Pacquiao in the fall. If Mayweather didn't come back and be the Grinch who stole pay-per-view Christmas against Errol Spence. So I'm pretty sure Errol Spence will step aside for Mikey Garcia. But if it was Errol Spence who was victorious and won to fight Pacquiao, watch the Grinch come through and knock Errol Spence out because Floyd Mayweather don't want to see a brother shine. Y'all know Floyd Mayweather is that raccoon word. You feel me? Code word. That's what he is. So he ain't gonna let Errol Spence come in and get all the spoils. Okay, he'll let a Mexican come in and do it because they funded his whole career. You know, they made him a billionaire. I bet 70% of his pay-per-view money came from Mexican Americans and Mexicans paying for him to see him lose versus Mexicans and Indian everybody. You dig? So you know he'll step in there and block Errol Spence, but he won't block Mikey. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about that situation. My personal opinion on that. But, you know, if Mikey wins, it's the world is his. If he loses, obviously it's tune-ups. You feel me? At 147 to get back in the rhythm of things. Also, I mean, it's Danny Garcia. You know, if he don't lose that bad or if he still can walk and touch and smell and eat and he ain't got to eat through a tube after Errol Spence get done with him, he want to take a tune-up, but then it's always Danny Garcia there. It's also Omar Figueroa, which he ducked Omar Figueroa. He wasn't trying to fight him. Obviously still Jesse Vargas there on his own. Obviously if he wants to, you know, change his mind and go to 140, there's Maurice Hooker is there for him. But at 47, you know, it's Thomas Delorme, it's Ugis if he loses to Sean Porter or beat Sean Porter. If Speedy Ellis, there's guys like Jaron Ennis, Josh Kelly looking for a come up. He trying to move pretty fast. You know, Custio Clayton, that's Terence Crawford mandatory. Obviously Terence Crawford is there, which if he don't beat Errol Spence, he ain't gonna catch that fade with Crawford. Crawford put fear in his heart, you know, because of that movement and that slick ability. Amir Khan is there. Kell Brook probably come down for Mikey Garcia fight, you know. So if he loses, you know, he'll tune up and then he can rebuild his image with a Vargas, Delorme, Ugis, Ray Robinson, Devin Alexander, Andre Berto, Danny Garcia. But I'm gonna give a unique take to close the video out. I believe if Mikey Garcia loses in bad fashion to Errol Spence, I believe he will turn off the lights and light a candle. His career gonna be over. I think he's gonna retire after losing to Errol Spence if it goes really bad. Now, if he's competitive with Errol Spence or he has at minimum he has a Kell Brook versus Triple G type performance, I believe he picks himself back up, tries to go to 35, try to make the Lomachenko fight. If not, makes Sika Maurice Hooker out. If not, he'll stay at 147 and try to do his thing here. Now, if it goes terribly bad, he just get beat up and get embarrassed at 147 quick, fast, in a hurry, he don't suffer that much damage, then I believe that he may come back. Now, if he's just going there and just take a colossal butt whooping and just get destroyed and just get stripped of his dignity in Cowboy Stadium, and it's everything that a reasonable person that's looking at this situation think it would be, and it's just going to be a brutal ass whooping with no chinks, I'm just saying no shining star, no good spots, no shining spots for him. It's just, 3 or 4 rounds of just Errol Spence just dog walking him from post to post, from rope to rope, from every inch of the ring. It's just a ass whooping, you know what I'm saying? Or he get a highlight reel knockout, or get knocked out in a highlight reel fashion like Amir Khan did. If it's someone of embarrassment, we take a lot of abuse. I believe Mikey Garcia he's gonna retire, in my opinion. I think he's gonna step away. Now, it's a possibility they can step back in the game. A lot of guys retire and they always want to come back, but I believe that if Mikey gets beaten to a pulp by Errol Spence, like conventional wisdom tell us that it may happen unless he just get knocked out early and just get hit with a shot like Ocampo. Campo came back a couple months ago, won. Congratulations to him. And he's like, all right, I just got hit with a shot. I'm not destroyed. You know what? I moved up a couple weight classes. It wasn't my cup of tea. It didn't have enough sugar in it. Let me go back down to 140. Let me go get back down to versus Lomachenko, defend my WBC belt versus Luke Campbell. And then I go back and fight Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something where it goes rounds like Triple G and Kell Brook and he just take abuse and his eye get fucked up, or he get knocked out, or he get the piss beat out of him, then I'm telling you, he's going to retire. He was already talking about 3 more fights before, 3 more fights, including the Errol Spence fight, then he retired. Anybody that's bringing up retirement, at this point of their career, already, they already probably retired. He probably already know what's going to happen. So, that's just my belief. I believe if Errol Spence do him like we believe it's going to get done, he going to get whooped on and get dog walked and get donkey walked or whatever you want to say, and they turn off the lights, you go to sleep and you get punished bad and break an eye socket or break his ribs or just a brutal ass whooping that most people believe it's going to be. I believe Mikey is going to retire. That's what I really believe. I don't think if Mikey get destroyed by Errol Spence, he's going to survive at 147. He's going to be like a salmon in the middle of the woods, a bears, you know what I'm saying? So this is my personal opinion on it, man. And also some bonus talk real quick. He says it's up to Peter and his brother Robert to see if they want to bring in a strength and conditioning coach. So he don't know if he's gonna bring a strength and conditioning coach in for this camp. I remember they had Alex Ariza there for a minute. He wore his welcome out. I think it was after he kicked Freddie Roach over in Asia. I think around that time they got rid of him. But so be it. If he don't want to bring a strength and conditioning coach in, he want to go in, ain't did sit-ups before in camp. Like I said, it's gonna matter. This ain't some of the other competition he fought. He's gonna need to work out and do some resistance training or some calisthenics or some type of weight training to move up the right way. This ain't Robert Easter Jr. This ain't just gonna be him at 35 or 40. And it's all about technique. And fundamentals. When you move up in weight, you gotta have some special abilities. You gotta have some fast twitch muscle. You gotta have some great defense. You gotta be real technical, or you just gotta be strong and move up the right way and to complete the mission. And for Mikey, I don't think he's in that Roberto Duran class where he's so skilled and so strong and so dominant that when he move up and he's so naturally big that's going to be the case. I don't see him being Shane Mosley. I don't see him being lightning quick or just super athletic. I don't see him being Floyd Mayweather with a nice slick defense and being able to make the adjustment. I don't see that. I see, a domination from Errol Spence putting a dog collar on him, putting a collar on him, and walking around the ring like a dog show and showing them off. Just beating the front end, the rotors, the brakes, the ball joints off this boy, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. Goodfellas Sports TV. Make sure you check us out. Facebook group, Facebook page, Twitter, all those links in the description. Instrumental link in the description as well too. Also, the email is there as well. All that's in the description. Interviews will be in the description and source. The information. Also, I want to make a donation to the channel. That link's in there as well. Salute to everybody who does donate. Just share the channel, subscribe, hit the bell icon.